Hi, everyone. So my name is Rosemary Taylor. I'm your professor for Intro to Design at LaGuardia Community College for this very short fall 2 semester. So as you know, it's like only 6 to 7 weeks and there's kind of a lot to do. So I had sent an email, hopefully you've received it, so you're watching this video. We're not going to meet live on Tuesdays for the most part. We'll do some individual one-on-one meetings and I will post assignments, but the class is going to run like half asynchronous, which means offline independently, and half synchronous, meaning we'll meet together and talk and see each other's faces. Hopefully people want to turn on their cameras over Zoom on Thursdays at 1. So Tuesdays, you can go onto Blackboard and you will have, small assignments, an announcement from me, like maybe a video to watch, maybe a short homework assignment to do, or you'll also have something due on Tuesdays. But we're not going to meet live together. Thursdays, we will meet live. We'll get to know each other. We'll look at each other's artwork. We will work in breakout groups and I'll do some live demos with different art materials and kind of answer any questions and hopefully have a pretty good time. But today I'm just going to quickly go over kind of the nuts and bolts of the class so you're not, confused. And then we're going to meet on Thursday and we'll go over any questions you have and we'll just really jump right into art making. You don't have to have experience to take this class. It's an intro class. So I always get a range of students. Sometimes this is the first class they've taken ever in art. Some people are art majors. Other students maybe have done art in the past and this is kind of like they're revisiting it. So it's always like a really fun mix. I'm a painter, I'm an artist, mixed media. I use a lot of different materials. You can see some of my work behind me. I have an art studio in Brooklyn, and what else? I teach at a few different places, including some museums. And I've been teaching at LaGuardia for about 5 years. And I've taught this class before online, and it's pretty doable. Like, I do miss having, interactions with students, but I try to make it as fun as possible. I do a lot of live demos and I do a lot of videos. So hopefully everybody will feel comfortable, getting involved with the art materials. One requirement for the class, however, is that you purchase art materials. It's just, there's really no other way around it. In order to make the work, you have to have the materials. Unfortunately, because we're, fully remote, you can't really do any work with, materials that the school provides. So you do need to purchase some materials. I give you a few options. So, it doesn't have to be a lot of money, but usually it's about minimum $50, depending on the types of brands or where you go to buy them. They may be a little bit more expensive. I always tell my students, do not buy your art materials at Michael's. I know there are a lot of Michael's stores in New York City. There's one not far from me in Brooklyn, but their markup price is just so high and the quality of their materials is just not great. I just really encourage you not to shop at Michael's for art materials. It's good for other things, but for this, it's just too expensive. So I'm going to go over some of that, including like where to buy your materials. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so this is Blackboard. You need to have a working Blackboard account to be in the class. Everything will be run through Blackboard. You need to submit your homework through Blackboard. You need to, I communicate with you through Blackboard. So like, that's how I send my emails and my announcements. This is where I do my grading. So it's really important that you update your email address that you have associated with Blackboard. So when I email you from Blackboard, you're receiving the emails. So just to kind of get started, just to show you where everything is and how I've organized the class, the first thing I want you to notice is the information tab. This is where the Zoom link will live. This will always be here. and also my contact information, my email address, and my office hours. So on Tuesdays, if we're not meeting, if we're not scheduled to meet, like if we don't have a one-on-one, but you have questions or concerns about something, you can just email me and let me know. And I have an office hour from 3:30 to 4:30 where I'm available on Zoom for students. If that time doesn't work for you, you just let me know and we can find another time. But that's my hour that I have dedicated to this particular class. So I will be available, and we'll just use the same Zoom link. I'll make sure that that's available. So you can just let me know, and this is my email address you can reach me at. So that's in the information folder on this main Blackboard page. And then the rest of the class is organized under content. So I have a folder for each week. And in each week's folder, you will find 2 folders, one for each day. So one for Tuesdays and one for Thursdays. And so what I'm going to be doing that you will have available to you is each week you will open up that week's folder and you will then find the date that for the class. So next Tuesday, you would come here and I would have like maybe another video or an article for you to read, or maybe a small drawing or, painting activity for you to do. That's where everything's going to live. And then we have our final project folder down here. So it's about 7 weeks of class, but the 7th week is the finals week. And we don't actually meet for a regular class. We just meet to go over our final project. So that's why it's like that. I want to bring your attention to this folder. This is where the important information lives. So different classroom policies, the attendance policy, the late work policy. Please, please, please communicate with me. If you're not getting the work done on time, if you're missing class, but you don't want to fail or get a WU, which is, I think, like an unofficial withdrawal, talk to me. I can be very flexible if you talk to me. Communication is key, right? So please let me know if, you fall behind. So we're going to go over this together on Thursday, but please read this before Thursday. This tells you a little bit about the course, what we're focusing on, process over product. So getting familiar with the art making materials, the different techniques and processes, not totally worrying about what the final work looks like, really digging in and getting our hands dirty and getting comfortable making art. We're going to build our vocabulary. We're going to talk about contemporary art and artists living and working in New York City. We're going to learn the basics of visual composition, design, color, all these different things, formal qualities that go into making a work of art. These are the course goals and objectives, different things that I hope that you get from the course. And then your learning outcomes, what you'll be able to do by the end of the course. So please read all of this, and we'll go over it again on Thursday. You need to have some type of laptop or tablet. At this point, you probably all have something that you're attending an online class on. You need to have access to the Zoom link as well as YouTube. That's where I post my videos. I include the links to the video on Blackboard, so you never have to go to YouTube to search it. I will give you the link. And again, you need to have an active Blackboard account and email address that you check often so you can be in communication with me. Here is how I do the points. So it's about accumulating points. So for example, you could have up to 600 points that you could get if you get full points for all your projects. Out of 600, say you got 550, that's still an A. So we just do the math. And if you have specific questions on how the math is divided, I'm more than happy to go over that at another time. Final project worth 100 points. The bigger projects, they're worth between 75 to 100 points. Discussion boards, like reading responses or little activities that I give you, would be 25 to 75 points. And that's all housed on Blackboard. So you always will know how you're doing. You will always be able to calculate your grade, so you know how you're doing throughout the semester. These are the school's policies. So you can just review these if you need to. About the absences, please don't miss class. If you're going to miss class, you will be marked absent. After on the third absence, you'll fail the class. It's a very short semester. You can't afford to miss the classes because there's not enough time to make up the work. Do not submit work late. I don't accept it after a week. So if you're more than a week late, I won't accept it unless you reach out and email me and let me know what's going on. And we set up an alternative deadline with, a check-in point to make sure that you're on top of your work. I'm more than happy to work with you on that. But you need to, take initiative and let me know, like, you're falling behind. I'm on top of it. I got some things going on, but I'm going to get to it, and like, give me a date. Keep scrolling. These are the materials. I'm going to make this more specific for you. And we're going to go over this together on Thursday. I'm giving you an option over 2 types of paint you could choose. It's a funny word, but nobody ever knows how to say, but that's pronounced gouache or acrylic. You can buy either or, do not buy both unless you really want to, but you do not need to mix these 2 types of paint. That's not what we're doing. It's just giving you an option. One is usually cheaper than the other. Sometimes people have acrylic, they don't have gouache, just gonna try to make this as low stress as possible for everyone. Scissors, if you don't want scissors, you could get an X-Acto knife. You can have, because we're gonna do collage, you can have really nice lines. A variety of pencils, which I'm gonna go over in a moment. And then 2 different types of paper, like a heavy Bristol board, as well as some drawing paper. If you cannot afford, or you don't want to buy both because you feel like that's just not what's going to work for you, just buy the Bristol board, because the drawing paper you can't paint on. But to be honest with you, I would prefer you to have a drawing pad and Bristol board so you can do both the different activities on the correct paper. Get some black construction paper. If you can't find black, get any color, but make sure you have a few sheets of the same color. A Sharpie marker, I said a twin tip, and that just means the marker with the small point and the larger point. It's just that way you have options. A pencil sharpener, blending stick, which I'm going to go over in a moment. I'm just looking for it. A variety of cheap paintbrushes, which I'll show you on Thursday. I don't have them with me. I'm at my apartment, not my art studio. So I don't have the paintbrushes with me. A basic kitchen sponge, something you get at 99-cent store. Paper plate to mix your paint on, or some type of palette that you can mix your paint on. You could buy one at the art store, but it's not necessary. You could also just use paper plates. You can just kind of throw out, and a cup for water. So this is your materials. These are the 2 stores that I recommend you shopping at. They have all the materials here. If you just go to the store and show them the list, they will be able to help you. They're all very nice. Please be sure to bring your student ID, as you will get a discount. And then, so for the art stores, you just go to these websites, you can put your zip code in, like go up to the top, says like store locator. And you can just put in your zip code and it'll show you the store closest to you. Blick has stores all over the city, Manhattan, uptown, downtown, Brooklyn. I'm not sure if there's one in Queens anymore. Artists and Craftsmen used to have one in the Bronx. Again, not sure if it's still there. I know so many places have closed because of the pandemic, but there are a couple in Brooklyn. They're all really close to the train. So even if they're not in your borough, they're really easy to get to, particularly Blick. They're all over lower Manhattan near all the different trains. So it should not be hard for you to get there. And then this is the schedule of classes. I divided it again, kind of like the folders where I have week 1, and then I divide it into the 2 days. And again, I'm going to change this. This is subject to change. It's just kind of a rough draft as I kind of figure out how I want to depending on what you guys do, I might, change up the order of some of the projects. But for today, for Tuesday, all you need to do is buy supplies eventually, as soon as possible. Hopefully by the weekend you could get them. and do a discussion board by Thursday. You don't need supplies by Thursday, obviously. I'm not going to just give you 2 days. You have more time to get them, but please get your supplies by next week. It's really important that you get the supplies as soon as possible. It's such a short turnaround for this class. So that's just what you're focused on right now. And then the discussion board, I'm going to go back to content. You're going to go to week 1, Tuesday. And then this is the discussion board. I want you to answer these questions. So you just click here. Click create thread. Somebody already submitted. That's exciting. Come down here. You can put the title in. Hello. My name is Rosemary. I can answer the questions here. So name, major, LaGuardia, the year at LaGuardia. You know, just tell me what you're into. How many art classes have you taken? Are you an art major? Where do you live? Did you just move to New York? Did you grow up in New York? What are you interested in? What do you do when you're not working or at school? How's online learning going for you? What struggles are you having? Let me know so I can maybe help with them. What has been good about online learning? Anything that's happened during COVID since March 2020, like maybe you got a new hobby, maybe you started cooking more, maybe you started doing yoga, you know, just what's been going on since the world has really gone upside down. And then I would love for you to comment on 2 of your classmates' posts. So read through your classmates' posts. Maybe you see something you have in common. Just write a little note to them. And that's going to be due for Thursday. So do this as soon as possible. And I'm going to go through and read them. And that's it for Blackboard. I'm going to now just quickly go over the supplies. Okay, so for the beginning of the semester, for the first like 3 weeks, we're going to focus on drawing and collage. So it's important that you have your scissors, your glue sticks, your black construction paper, your white paper, and some Bristol board or poster board. So it's nice and heavy. So here's a white eraser. It's on the list. A pencil sharpener. And again, if you have a different pencil sharpener, it's fine. I'm just showing you the options at the art store. The white eraser. This is a pack of pencils. And when you buy your drawing pencils, you want to look at the letters and numbers on the end of the pencil. So there's HB, H. In this pack, it's 4B, 6B, 8B. The higher the number, and if it's B and it has a high number, that means it's really soft. So that means the pencil can be really dark. So this is an 8B. Oh, this is a 6B. So it can get really dark. And then this is an HB, H, like the letter H, and you can see the difference. H as in like hard. So you want to buy like 2B, 4B, 6B. I like this little pack because it kind of gives you all the soft ones. It's HB, 2B, 4B, 6B, 7B, and 8B. So this is like a good pack because this is like generally all the softer ones, which are a lot darker and which are going to serve our purpose very well. So you want to get your pencils, and I will, make sure that the supply list is really detailed so you understand. Your pencil sharpener, and then this is the blending stick. I got a pack of 3, but you can buy them single. And this is going to be for our drawing explorations the first couple weeks. It helps you smudge and get different effects with the with the pencil. And again, this is like extra. It's, you know, if you can't find it or you're like, you know, I don't have the money for it, it's fine. Just make sure you buy the pencils and the eraser. That's more important than this. You can always put some paper towel on your finger and just smudge with your finger. But this is a little fun tool that if you've never done it before, it's kind of cool. The Sharpie marker with the skinny tip and the thicker tip, you know, if you can't find this marker, that's fine. You can just buy like a thin marker and a thick marker, or just have a marker with like a semi-thin tip, you know. But I just like this because it's 2 for 1 and it's, you know, it's like $2. The paint. So these are the 2 different types of paint you could get. You can get the gouache, which I bought in these, they come in these small tubes, or you can buy the acrylic. Now this, I have this because I've been using this in my studio. It's just cheap paint that I've been making some studies with. This comes in like a smaller tube. If you want to get a smaller tube, you don't have to buy this big of a tube, but this is $5 for the little tube. This is $8. The one that's half this might be more like $3. But you just need to buy yellow, red, blue, black, and white. So if you want to buy more colors, if you want to buy more colors, you can, but you don't need to. It will be great if you want to buy more because you'll have more options, you know, make a range of colors. However, you need the primaries. You need yellow, red, blue, white, black, including if you buy acrylic, same thing. You need yellow, white, red, blue, and black. So 5 colors minimum when you buy the paint. And then for the paper, I had said, you know, you can choose, but it's really important that you have a good heavy duty paper. So this is the Bristol board. It's 11 by 14. This is the one I really would like you to get because it's nice and big and you can tear it and you know, use smaller pieces, which I'll show you how to do for like drawing, but you can also paint on this. Where I got this drawing pad, which is equally fun, but you can't paint on this paper. This is more just like cheap drawing paper. So if you have to choose, please buy the Bristol board because you can't paint on this. You will get very frustrated. So I'm giving you 2 options, but if you're only gonna buy one, buy the big heavy duty pad because I need you to be able to make some paintings. I think that's it for today. Please email me, rtaylor@lagcc.cuny.edu. It is in the information tab on Blackboard. And I look forward to seeing you folks on Thursday, January 6th. Have a great week and talk to you soon. Bye.